days until the election. And a beloved teacher dies of a heart attack in school. Tonight, his friends reflect on the legacy he leaves behind. And a reason to dance. A Georgia woman went viral when security cameras caught her happy dance after nailing a job interview. You'll meet her and her new boss as they share their unlikely connection.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Signs of improvement today at the voting polls, but we are still hearing from people in some cities waiting hours to cast their ballots. It's the #1 thing you've been contacting us about this week, and our team has been working to get you answers about what's working to ease the lines and what's not. Joe Hinkie tells us how day 3 of voting out in Cobb County went for voters.
You needed to join the line before sunrise to be the first to cast your ballot in Cobb County today. Throughout the day, we tracked the estimated wait times the county published for its 9 early voting locations. The shortest estimate, 30 minutes at Art Place in Northeast Cobb during the early afternoon, while throughout the day at different times, voters waited 3 hours from South Cobb to Smyrna and here at the county's main location in Marietta. Though some of the first voters here today tell us they waited much longer.
So it took me about, you would say, five hours.
Alan Gitta says despite the long wait, he was determined to cast his ballot, and he believes others will be too.
A lot of people have already made up their mind whether they're going to cast a vote and whether they're going to come out and vote. So I don't think they're going to be discouraged.
19-year-old Michael Jackson, an Alabama A&M student and Cobb resident, came to cast his first presidential election ballot today and attended virtual class on his cell phone as he waited 2+ hours.
Well, I made it this far and I'm still in class, as you can see, so, no excuses for me.
The long lines in Cobb and around the state compared to rush hour on I-85 by Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger today as he discussed record early voting turnout on Monday.
If you look spaced out over the 12-hour day, 128,000 people is quite manageable. Whenever someone shows up at 7 o'clock, it's just a high capacity.
Raffensperger this morning said his office is currently working with counties around the state to see where more machines and hands can be added to speed up early voting lines and address issues ahead of Election Day on November 3rd. A Cobb County spokesman telling 11 Alive today the 9 open early voting locations is more than in past elections in Cobb. More machines have already been added to the West Cobb Regional Library location, and the county is trying to add more machines at other locations, but social distancing is creating space issues.
2 more early voting locations will open on Monday in Cobb County. That was part of the county's original plan for early voting well before we started seeing this record turnout. Coming up at 9, for those trying to plan the best time to head out and early vote, we will let you know when you might want to go to the polls. In Gwinnett County, voters at Shorty Howell were hoping that by showing up early this morning, they'd get through the line faster. But they told us they still had to wait 4 to 6 hours to cast their ballots. The feeling there, frustration, but determination.
As a minority person of color, I'm more encouraged than ever to get out here and vote. I think it's really important despite how long it takes. There are people of all ages in line. I think everyone seems really committed this year to get out there and be counted.
I came here like 6 o'clock this morning, and then the line was moving. Then all of a sudden it stopped for like 2 hours. They couldn't give us a reason why it just stopped. And they discouraged a lot of people because they took off and said they'll come back later.
We've been here for 4 hours and 15 minutes here at Shorty Howell. And man, we didn't think we'd be here this long.
The county told us yesterday it was adding machines and workers at some of the locations with the longest wait, so we kept an eye on Gwinnett's online wait times and charted them throughout the day. Overall, we did see some improvement, but there were still several voting locations that hit wait times of 3 hours or more once again today. Meanwhile, the Secretary of State says the best option to avoid long lines in Fulton County is to head out to State Farm Arena. There are 300 voting machines there, and more than 200 Atlanta Hawks employees have been trained to assist voters. This morning, the Secretary of State said it took a member of his staff just a few minutes to get in and out, but this option again is only available to people registered to vote in Fulton County. As early voting continues, counties are receiving and processing absentee ballots, and so far they're rejecting very few of them, though that could change. 11 Alive's Doug Richards has more.
This is a room where ballots have been cast but still haven't been counted. It's where tens of thousands of absentee ballots are being processed into Cobb County. Absentee balloting set records in the June primary because of the pandemic, and the data so far indicates similar popularity for the November election. The process here is not rocket science, but it's arguably more important. to some of the absentee voters who dropped off ballots in boxes a few feet away from that room.
This election is so important to us, to the point that we just want to make sure that it got to where it was going, and by me bringing it and putting it in the box myself, this is the end of it for us, so we know that we got it where it needs to go.
At the DeKalb voter registration office, voters can either stand in line or they can approach the 2 steel boxes set up adjacent to the line and drop off their absentee ballot. The first 2 days of early voting show in-person voting is still more popular. As of Tuesday, in-person early voting has already exceeded absentee voting in DeKalb, Fulton, Cobb, Gwinnett, Forsyth, Cherokee, and Clayton counties. Those 7 counties report they've accepted a total of 218,000 absentee ballots. The 7 counties report rejecting only 13 ballots, although another 789 have been marked spoiled.
A spoiled ballot is one where there's some sort of discrepancy fundamental to the ballot itself.
Lucille Wenegema says voters with spoiled ballots can replace them and try again. The absentee ballot processing doesn't end here. Workers here are only opening the exterior envelopes, leaving unopened an interior envelope that actually contains the ballot itself. The exterior envelope has the name and signature of the voter, and the signatures are checked for a match with state records. If it checks out, absentee voters can track it online.
This is actually my first time doing absentee ballot. I felt like you can actually track it, which you can't always do when you're voting in person.
State officials are supposed to notify voters if their absentee ballots are rejected early in the process. So far, DeKalb, Gwinnett, Forsyth, and Cobb counties have rejected 0 ballots.
Well, as for those spoiled ballots, you'll also be alerted about that too, although most are self-reported, with voters requesting new ones because something messed up with the originals. An exclusive 11 Alive Survey USA poll shows the presidential candidates are basically tied here in Georgia, and that could explain why efforts to sway voters here in our state are ramping up. This Friday, the president will hold a rally in Macon. It's his 2nd trip to Georgia in a month. 3 weeks ago, he was here stumping for black voters, trying to sway a group that historically has voted Democratic. Our poll reflects that showing only 7%, showing only 7% support for the president among black voters. That's compared to Joe Biden's 89% support. When it comes, though, to Hispanic voters, Biden has 63% support compared to the president's 36%. More men support President Trump, 53% to 40%. That same margin flips when you look at women. 55% say they are voting for Mr. Biden. For months now in the polls, we have seen support for the Republican Party among suburban women shift from solid to spotty. But the largest divide comes when you look at age. People ages 18 to 49 support Biden, while those over 50 favor the president. 11 Alive is dedicated to making sure your vote is secure. So if you have a problem at the polls or a question, contact our voter access team. You can email us at whereatlspeaks@11alive.com or call us, or text us rather, that's a text, not a call, at 404-885-7600. And don't forget to check out our voter resource guide for information on things like where to vote and how to check wait times for some counties online. Just head on over to 11alive.com/vote. Let's take a look now at some other top headlines from around the metro, beginning with new details in the disappearance of Natalie Jones. The GBI officially confirming today that the body found inside her car last week is in fact the 27-year-old mother of 2. Jones was last seen July 5th in Jackson's Gap, Alabama. Earlier this month, the GBI says her car was found in Heard County. The Heard County Sheriff's Office says it's waiting for the GBI's medical examiner to determine how she died and whether foul play may have been involved. And they're continuing to look at men who were romantically involved with her as possible persons of interest. The entire jail population at Bartow County's jail is now quarantining. This comes after several inmates tested positive for COVID-19. The sheriff's office says most of these cases are asymptomatic, but they are taking precautions to stop the spread. Inmates will still be allowed to do video visitations, emails, and make calls. And if you are in the market for a job, Pro Logistics Atlanta is looking to hire 250 people within the next 3 weeks. The employment agency is recruiting for warehouse jobs in the Fairburn area. So if you're interested, you need to know you have to apply online. The website is prologistics.com. Applicants will be scheduled then for a time slot during the October 22nd job fair in Noonan. For more information on the vacant positions and that job fair, just look for this story on 11alive.com. It's one thing to say dance like no one's watching, but it's another thing to do it. Kalea Jones had what she thought was a private celebration out in Decatur, but it's now gone viral. The story behind it explains the depth of her joy.
A moment in the parking lot in Decatur now shared all over the world. A young woman who felt so good about her job interview that she stopped, looked both ways, and did a happy dance.
Welcome, welcome.
Now Kalea is sharing the story behind it.
It was just a lot going on.
It was a job interview she hoped would change her life.
I was having anxiety attacks.
She says she felt tremendous pressure when she got to the Spot Sports Bar and Grill.
I was homeless for 2 years. I've been jumping from back and forth from one house to another. It was sometimes my friend's house. It was sometimes be my grandmother's.
Kalea had no idea the woman who would interview her, Dakara Spence, understood. She'd been there too.
And when she came in the interview with her slippers and her scarf on, I know what that's like because I was also homeless as well.
The dance came right after the interview before she knew if she'd get the job. Joy, relief, and a moment to release the pressure life had placed on her.
And I went in there and been myself. And basically the dance was like a happy sign to show him, like I did it.
Dakara, her new boss, watched it from the window of the grill, hired Kalea on the spot.
I told myself if I ever have the opportunity to get a job back to somebody else, I'm going to do it because nobody should be judged.
And shared the surveillance video of the dance online. Now millions of others have had their own moment of joy watching it.
Kalea Jones says she is loving her new job and she is excited to be receiving her very first paycheck this week. Still ahead in primetime, inspired and enthusiastic. That's how friends are describing a Fulton County music teacher who died this week. Next, his friends share more about his 25 years as a mentor and educator. And don't forget, we are streaming right now on our 11 Alive YouTube channel. That's where you can subscribe and join the conversation in our community section. There's more 11 Alive news in primetime after the break.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscast, not enough.
Last week, a Fulton County music teacher died of a heart attack while at school. 59-year-old Derek Cleveland had been a music teacher in APS in Fulton County for more than 25 years. Tracy A. McPierce spoke with Cleveland's friend about the bandmates and the legacy that he is now leaving behind.
He was kind-hearted and a great musician.
So when Phil Davis got the call that 59-year-old Derek Cleveland had died, he says it was a shock. Davis first played with Cleveland back in 1986 when Cleveland came back to play at his alma mater, Clark Atlanta University.
When when I met him, he was in the jazz orchestra playing lead trumpet, and the lead trumpet is the highest.
Davis says they played with a variety of jazz greats.
Dizzy Gillespie, Wynton Marsalis, Bradford Marsalis, Joe Sample.
But Davis says Cleveland loved playing the most with his students. He taught music at Kennedy Middle School, A. Philip Randolph Elementary School, and Woodland Middle School for more than 25 years.
Derek was inspired and enthusiastic about the music. It makes young musicians also enthusiastic.
Davis says Cleveland will be remembered for inspiring the next generation.
There are very few schools, public schools, that are even teaching music at that level. And so he was one of them. And so yes, that legacy is to keep the music alive.
Cleveland's funeral will be Saturday here at the Flipper Temple AME Church. Now, Davis says the Clark Atlanta University Jazz Orchestra will be playing at his funeral, marking the first time the group has played together since the pandemic.
A Georgia sheriff has died. According to the Americas Times Recorder, Sumter County Sheriff Pete Smith had been battling health issues and recently contracted COVID-19. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp tweeted out his condolences this morning. Smith was first elected sheriff in 2004. The governor will appoint an interim sheriff. Voters will elect the replacement sheriff next month. While Georgia is making progress in the battle against COVID-19, some counties stand out in the latest White House Coronavirus Task Force report. Gwinnett, Fulton, and DeKalb had the highest number of new cases in the last 3 weeks. Zip codes can help reveal potential hotspots for COVID in these areas. Gwinnett's Lawrenceville zip code of 30044 leads the region with more than 3,900 cases. In Fulton, zip code 30349 had the highest number of cases this week. That's near the airport, and they're dealing with more than 1,800 cases. In DeKalb, the Stone Mountain area, including zip code 30083, hits 1,500 total cases as of Sunday. You can find the latest COVID-19 numbers on 11alive.com. We will update them for you every day. Just look in the special coronavirus section. Today, students in Fulton County had the option of returning to the classroom for in-person learning full-time. This is the final step in the district's reopening plan. Before this, students could be on campus 2 days a week. Families still have the option to continue with remote learning. An important note for parents, the USDA is extending the free school lunch program. Free meals will now be available through the end of the school year, through the end of the school year, so that's the spring of 2021. It was supposed to end in December, but again, it has been extended. The pandemic and the resulting high unemployment levels leave families needing the free meal program and its support.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. We're going to see temperatures cooling off a little bit tonight. We're going to go from the 70s back into the 60s here over the next few hours. And then, unlike this morning when we started off in the mid-50s, we'll be in the low 60s here in the morning. So not quite as cool as it was this morning, but still pretty comfortable temperatures out there. Something else you're going to notice overnight and toward tomorrow morning, we will see just a few more clouds mixing in with the moon, and then eventually that sunshine mixing in with those clouds as we go through the morning hours tomorrow. And then just a really low rain risk. We're only going with a 20% chance for a shower here on Thursday, and that's why the wasometer number has come down a little bit to an 8. This is our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. We start off in the morning at 60, get up to 80 degrees in the afternoon with that mix of sun and clouds and just a few raindrops that'll be around. Tonight we're going to be fine. We'll be dry. We'll see a few more of those clouds though that start building up in the morning. This is what we're talking about during the overnight hours, especially over on the east side. More of those clouds and then more sunshine over on the west side. And even early in the morning, it's possible up in northeast Georgia and over on the east side that there might be just a couple of showers around. Those pretty much fall apart. And then at noontime, mixture of sunshine and clouds, more sun west and more clouds over to the east of us. And then in the afternoon, nothing really big here. We're just talking about a 20% chance that you might get hit by a few sprinkles as this front approaches our area. That's going to sweep through Thursday into Friday, and notice that wind shifting coming out of the northwest. That opens the door to the cooler air that'll be moving our way. We'll feel that on Friday with highs only in the 70s Friday. We'll also have a few clouds still on Friday mixing in before they clear out later in the day. And then Saturday looks nice and clear, and it's also going to be cool too as we're watching this warmer air that's sitting over us now, and it'll be with us tomorrow. That'll be replaced by the cooler air that starts spilling into our area on Friday. We'll feel that more on Saturday and Sunday morning, and then as we go into next week, the cooler air disappears and we see the warmer air starting to come back into our area as we head into next week. And with that warmer air, we'll also have a little bit more moisture, and that's going to bring in some lower rain chances as we head into next week. So 80 degrees for a high on Thursday, 20% chance for a shower. And then on Friday, decreasing clouds with high temperatures a little cooler there at 72 degrees. There you see on Saturday and Sunday morning, we will see those temperatures that are going to be in the 40s Saturday morning at 47 with a high of 69, 49 Sunday morning with a high of 71, and then warming up a little bit more next week, back to the 70s. And with that extra warm air, a little more moisture builds in, 20% chance for a shower Monday, then a 30% chance Tuesday and Wednesday.
This is a good ball club we're playing, and they're explosive as we saw. I didn't feel good with a big lead. I mean, because these guys are too powerful, but it's that's a good ball game to win. They all are now.
It wasn't as easy as we would have liked, but the Braves are up 2-0 on the Dodgers. Game 3 underway right now. I just checked the scores, looking like 15-1 in the top of the 5th, and that is not in the Braves' favor. But fans know that this is far from over, and they are motivated.
Pretty confident. We haven't lost a game yet in the postseason, so we're feeling pretty good.
Nervous from Atlanta. Every Atlanta sports team, we know what happens. Very nervous.
I felt like the Dodgers would be our our worst match this year. And I was a little worried at first, but I think we've got this now.
I think it's the year for the Braves, and I think they're going to go to World Series. We have a great team. We won on Monday, we won last night, and we're going to win tonight.
So to come in prime time, domestic violence is a problem that only gets more dangerous when abusers own a gun. Now, a new federal initiative is aiming to prosecute repeat offenders and protect victims.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people.
Studies show domestic violence is climbing during the pandemic, but a new initiative from the Department of Justice is looking to have an impact. Today, the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia joined a panel with domestic violence survivors and experts to talk about Project Guardian. Its main focus is prosecuting violent repeat offenders who have possession of firearms, including those with a history of domestic violence. U.S. Attorney B.J. Pack says when abusers have a gun, it can drastically increase the risk of a victim being shot or killed. But right now, he says limitations in the law prevent officers from taking an accused abuser's gun away.
If the abuser has a previous misdemeanor conviction for domestic violence, he or she is not supposed to have a firearm at all, right? But the issue is that the state agents or the police officer responding to that call has no authority right now to enforce federal law to take that gun away or arrest that person. That's why it has to be resulting back to the federal agents to do that.
Well, there have been several attempts here in Georgia to get laws like this changed, but Mr. Pack says right now he's focused on educating officers that they can call in the ATF and their agents to take someone's gun away if they have a domestic violence conviction. We have covered so many heartbreaking instances of domestic violence in Georgia. One that sticks out is the story of Crystal Stone. Her husband allegedly lured her to the hospital where she worked back in August. Police reports say he fired into her car a dozen times, killing her. The detective we spoke to said she did everything right. She had filed a previous domestic violence report and she had filed for divorce. Her story struck a chord with so many people who say they are also survivors or have family members who have been through this. This person says, as an abuse survivor, I think sometimes the only reason I'm alive is we did not have firearms in our house. I pray so much for her family. If you or someone that you know needs help, you can contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline. That number is 1-800-799-7233. The call is free and available 24 hours a day. Also, if you don't feel safe making a call or talking, you can use the website, thehotline.org, for assistance.
Only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray.
A Georgia family has renewed hope for answers tonight amid the latest push to solve a murder that happened 15 years ago. In 2005, Reagan Wheeler was shot and killed in the driveway of his home in Dallas, Georgia, after interrupting what investigators believe was a burglary. For years, the sheriff's office and the GBI have been trying to figure out who shot him. The FBI recently joined the case as well, and yesterday announced that they were offering a $16,000 reward on top of the $14,000 already offered by Crime Stoppers. Wheeler's son says his family has been fighting for years for this extra reward money, and they think it could truly make a difference in his case.
There's no way, in my opinion, that 15 years could have gone by with the murder happening in broad daylight in a subdivision like that. There's no way that somebody didn't hear something, didn't see something.
Wheeler was a man of faith who would minister to families at the Paulding County Jail on Sundays. His son says his family continues to hold on to their faith, and they are willing to fight as long as it takes for justice.
I do believe in my heart that there's lots of interest still in the case. There's lots of good people, federal agencies that are investigating the case. I would like to think that all of the cold case murders that you see solved, that I watch on TV all the time, and I look over to my wife and I tell her, I said, I hope one day my dad's case is on there and it's solved.
Detectives say they think someone out there has information that they need. So if you'd like to reach out, we have contact information in our story on 11alive.com. We'll also hear much more from the family in that case tonight on Up Late at 11 on our sister station. Fulton County voters now have a new tool to navigate early voting lines. We have just learned the county is joining others in posting wait times online. If you want to check out the times, we are sharing a link on 11alive.com/vote. Day 3 of confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Judge Amy Coney Barrett. The topics again ranging from gun and voting and LGBTQ rights to race and abortion. Like many nominees before her, Judge Barrett proclaimed her judicial independence and commitment to the Constitution. Republicans are hoping to wrap up the hearing tomorrow and get her confirmed in less than 2 weeks. It's the fear for so many families. One person testing positive for COVID-19 and the virus spreading from loved one to loved one. Today, First Lady Melania Trump is sharing her experience with coronavirus, talking about her fears for her family. She also revealed for the first time that her son with President Donald Trump, 14-year-old Barron Trump, also tested positive for COVID-19. She says he contracted it earlier this month around the same time as his parents. The president's physician previously released a statement saying all of the president's children had tested negative. Ms. Trump says Barron tested positive 1 day later, and she says he had no symptoms and has since tested negative. Ms. Trump also talks about her personal recovery journey, saying the most impactful part of her process was the opportunity to reflect. She also says she hopes to resume her duties as First Lady soon and that she is praying for our country. The holiday travel season just around the corner, and airlines are still desperate for help from Washington. Delta Airlines is the first of the major carriers to report third quarter earnings, and the huge losses will likely be echoed across the entire industry. So far, Delta has been able to avoid the massive furloughs that have hit other major airlines, but now they say it could be more than 2 years before they're actually able to return to normal revenue. Here's NBC's Blaine Alexander.
This morning, trouble in the air for an airline giant. Delta Airlines reporting a $5.4 billion loss for the third quarter, a stark contrast to its $1.5 billion profit this time last year. It's the latest sign of turbulence in the skies as the pandemic deals the airline industry a massive blow.
It's going to take some time, into the spring, early part of next year before we start to see profits as well as cash flow.
Delta has taken steps to reassure passengers even as the company hemorrhages cash, pledging to block middle seats through at least early January, even as most major airlines have returned to full capacity.
Delta is generally regarded as one of the best run airlines in the world, and they reported a blockbuster loss, even as they've tried to reduce costs.
What does this mean for the airline industry as a whole?
Big picture, this means the airline industry really needs the bailout.
But that government bailout not coming yet, with talks in Washington still stalled. The industry left up in the air even amid signs that traffic is slowly picking up. Over the weekend, TSA screened nearly 985,000 travelers in a single day. That is the highest volume since mid-March, but still a far cry from the more than 2 million daily travelers pre-pandemic. That, combined with fewer flights, could mean fewer seats. But with the holiday travel season just around the corner, if you are planning to fly, there's good news.
Almost every major airline has gotten rid of change fees, so you can change free of charge or even to a lower flight. So there is more flexibility than ever before for travelers. And with record low fares and increased award miles flights, it is a good time for those looking for a deal.
Let's take a look now at 3 big stories that we are following for you. A 17-year-old accused of killing 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin, will not face charges in his home state of Illinois. 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse is charged with shooting 2 protesters with an AR-15 rifle during a demonstration over the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Officials say the gun used in the shooting was purchased, stored, and used in Wisconsin, and that there's no evidence the teen ever physically possessed it in Illinois. Rittenhouse was arrested at his home in Illinois and is being held at a juvenile detention center there without bond due to the criminal charges in Wisconsin. A white woman will face charges for calling police on a black man who was bird watching in New York. Today, investigators revealed Amy Cooper called police a second time, claiming Christian Cooper had assaulted her. When police arrived, she admitted that never happened. Video of a confrontation went viral earlier this year. Cooper is expected to be arraigned in October for making a false report. Facebook now launching a new global policy banning ads that discourage people from getting vaccines. It comes amid a series of policy changes aimed at addressing problematic content on the social network. That includes a temporary ban on political ads following the November 3rd presidential election. Facebook also says it's working with the World Health Organization and UNICEF on public health campaigns to increase immunization rates. So to come in prime time, some news involving the Alabama Crimson Tide and the coronavirus. Details on this developing story next. And this year, the AJC Peachtree Road Race is going virtual, but that doesn't mean everything has to change. You can still enter our Oh Say Can You Sing contest for this chance to virtually perform the national anthem at the world's largest 10K or the Peachtree Junior. All you have to do is email us. Send us a video of yourself singing the national anthem to contest@11alive.com by noon on Friday, October 23rd. That's your deadline. Check 11alive.com for more information.
WATF. There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on W.
A developing story out of the University of Alabama for you tonight. Head football coach Nick Saban says he has tested positive for COVID-19. According to the university, he has no symptoms, though. Alabama hosts UGA Saturday night. There's no word yet on if Coach Saban will be on the sidelines. Meanwhile, Saturday's SEC showdown between Florida and LSU has been postponed. The decision was made after several players for the Gators tested positive for COVID-19. 21 players have tested positive and others have been isolated due to contact tracing. The game is tentatively rescheduled for December 12th. Former Falcons coach Dan Quinn is saying thank you to the city of Atlanta following his dismissal. The team released this 4-paragraph statement. In it, he said being the head coach of the Falcons was the privilege of a lifetime and called the Falcons his family. We've posted a link to his full letter for you on 11alive.com. The Falcons are now led by interim coach Raheem Morris, and they will try for their first win Sunday at Minnesota. If things seem hopeless to fans, the players say they are not buying it.
I started off 5-0 before and lost 6 straight. So I think that anything is possible. You know, I've been up 25 points in the Super Bowl before. So anything is possible to me. Like, you can't tell me that, you know, it can't be turned around. It's just, it takes some strong will, and it takes, you know, you got to really show what's important to you.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. What a nice day we had out there today. Plenty of sunshine, a lot of dry air in place, and that is reflected here by the blues and purples that you see on our moisture map, indicating the very dry air. Where it's a little more moist, you see that down here along the Florida coast, the Georgia coast as well, with a little more moisture there. And we will see a little bit more of that building into our area tomorrow. Humidity levels coming up a little bit. We'll have just a few more clouds that'll be mixing in, and we're going to go with just a 20% chance for a shower tomorrow ahead of this next front that's moving our way. That's going to sweep through during the day on late Thursday and into Friday, and as it does, there will still be a few clouds with that, but I don't think we'll see any rain on Friday. But as the front moves through, it's going to push that moisture away, and then it reinforces the very dry air that we have here with those purple colors that you see on the legend indicating that dry air. And then it's not going to last long. It'll still be dry on Sunday, but as we head into next week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it starts warming up a little bit more, and we'll begin to see more of this moisture from the Gulf moving our way, and that's going to help to increase our rain chances. Not a lot. We're just talking about a 20% Monday, also then a 30% chance on Tuesday and also on Wednesday. So here's a look at that. You can see graphically what we're talking about here with that slightly higher dew points on Thursday. Then it dries off Friday and Saturday with those lower relative humidity levels, and then as you can see the moisture content coming back Monday and Tuesday, and that corresponds with those rain chances that are going to bump up just a little bit. So here's a look at what we're watching with our weather headlines. Cold front's on the way. It's going to sweep through late Thursday into Friday. It has limited moisture with it, and we'll just see a few more clouds around during the day tomorrow. Only a 20% chance for a shower ahead of that front. And then behind the front, we're going to see a surge of cooler air that's going to move in, and that'll be here just in time for the weekend. So here's a look at your hour by hour during the day on Thursday. 65 to start early in the morning, 70 at about 10 o'clock, 75 at noon, getting up to around 80 in the afternoon. And here you see just a few of those clouds that are going to be mixing in with the sunshine at times. And with that, we're going to go with an 8 on the wasometer, just that really low risk for a couple of isolated showers around. In fact, you can see here tonight we're fine. In the morning, we're going to be watching with that easterly flow. A few clouds from Atlanta eastward, and maybe even a couple of showers here over on the east side. That breaks up a little bit in Atlanta at lunchtime. Still a mix of sun and clouds in the afternoon, and you see just a little bit of green showing up here. Just that 20% chance for a shower. And then we clear out early on Friday morning with some cooler air moving in. Just a few clouds in the afternoon Friday. And then that clears out again late Friday. That sets the stage for a nice sunny Saturday, but a cool weekend too. 80 for a high Thursday, 72 on Friday as that cooler air starts to spill in. We drop down into the 40s Saturday morning with a high of 69. 49 Sunday with a high of back to 71. Mid 70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with a 20% chance for a shower Monday, 30% chance Tuesday and Wednesday.
The Braves on the field right now for Game 3 of the National League Championship Series against the Dodgers. I just checked the score. It's looking like 15-1. It's still what we're dealing with, and hopefully the Braves can maybe start digging their way out of that. But tonight's pitcher for the Braves is 25-year-old Cal Wright. Our Maria Martin has more on what will be the biggest game of his young life so far.
Hey Cheryl, yeah, one of the biggest surprises of the postseason for this Braves team is those starting 3 young pitchers. They have been fantastic, but when it comes to Kyle Wright, you know, he out of the 3 of them has really struggled at a couple of times, but he's turned a corner. His dad, Roger Wright, told me that he always knew that that corner was coming and that he likes what he sees from his son right now. Kyle Wright was born to be a Brave.
During the summers, I would take him to a couple of games.
He grew up in Huntsville, Alabama, in a baseball family where his dad was his coach in high school. And as the Braves' first-round draft pick in 2017, obviously there were high hopes for Kyle. And like most young pitchers, there have been some growing pains.
When he was sent down and he came back up and he threw against the Marlins, and his line wasn't good, but he pitched well. And I talked to him on the phone that night, and he was just so upbeat that I actually called his agent the next day and said, I don't know when it will be, but he is about to turn the corner, just because mentally he was in a good place.
In the NLDS, he was superb, only walking 1 batter while striking out 6.
The good part to see is I know he struggled, but then to turn it around and have success is rewarding to watch.
There's also now a new pregame ritual when it comes to game day for Kyle's parents.
The day that he won his first game against the Nationals, we were having a baby shower for my oldest son, and she forgot to text him and got his win. So we make no contact with him on game day.
So even though Roger was Kyle's coach in high school, he said he never actually gives his son any advice because he's never faced a big league hitter. One thing he will be doing today, walking the concourse here at Globe Life Field, because he said he's too nervous every time his son takes the hill, and he'll be on it for Game 3.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
People on social media are going back and forth over a new ad for President Trump. It implies that Dr. Anthony Fauci praised the president's COVID-19 response. So let's verify.
We're talking about a new political ad put out by Donald Trump's campaign this week. It talks about the president's handling of the coronavirus pandemic and then has a quote from Dr. Anthony Fauci. Here's a short clip.
President Trump tackled the virus head on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
Since this ad came out, Dr. Fauci has talked to multiple news outlets saying he's being misrepresented in this ad. So let's verify. Did Dr. Fauci say he couldn't imagine anybody doing more than President Trump like this ad implies? Our main source is an interview from Fox News in March. Dr. Fauci is asked about the coronavirus task force that he's a part of. Let's watch a clip.
Tom, I'm down at the White House virtually every day with the task force. I'm connected by phone throughout the day and into the night. When I say night, I'm talking 12, 1, 2 in the morning. I'm not the only one. There's a whole group of us that are doing that. It's every single day. So I can't imagine that under any circumstances that anybody could be doing more.
So Dr. Fauci is specifically talking about the coronavirus task force, not President Trump. But the political ad edited the statement and put it right next to the president. From the original clip and its context, we can verify the claim that Dr. Fauci said the statement about President Trump is false. Dr. Fauci has worked with 6 U.S. presidents, and he's never endorsed one or actively participated in a campaign ad before.
Netflix says no more free rides. The company has stopped offering free trials to U.S. viewers, phasing out that option this month. That follows a similar move in a number of other countries in recent years. To replace the free trial, Netflix is introducing new ways to attract potential subscribers, including posting some educational content on YouTube. It also recently launched a site where you can watch a number of episodes from its top series for free. The promoters for the EDM duo Chainsmokers, you might recognize the name more than the genre. Well, they have been fined a whopping $200,000 for a sold-out charity concert. The drive-in event in the Hamptons over the summer drew harsh criticism for social distancing violations after footage showed attendees outside their cars without masks. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says Southampton will no longer be able to approve group gathering permits without proper approval and prior approval from the state. After more than 25 years, Home Depot is cutting ties with its ad agency for reported racist comments by the firm's founder. According to our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle, the Richards Group was in a recent meeting with Motel 6 when the agency's founder, Stan Richards, made the alleged racist remark. Home Depot says they do not tolerate discrimination in any form. Motel 6 has also fired the firm. Next at 9, a judge ordering the Cobb County Sheriff to hand over documents as 11 Alive searches for answers after an inmate died pleading for medical help.
only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
Eli Lilly, the drug maker working on an antibody treatment for COVID-19, is pausing their clinical trial. It's similar to the treatment made by Regeneron that is the drug that was popularized after being given to President Trump. So what are these types of treatments and how do they compare to what's already available? Savannah Louie connects the dots.
More than a week after President Donald Trump walks out of the hospital, his drug cocktail Regeneron still generates buzz. Monoclonal antibodies are a key ingredient, and experts, including Dr. Fauci, say there's a reasonably good chance this was instrumental in his recovery. These special antibodies are traditionally used to treat all sorts of problems from arthritis to cancer. But unlike regular antibodies, they're created in a lab. Scientists clone white blood cells to mimic our body's immune response and stop the virus from replicating. Some researchers think this might be the most significant development in the fight against COVID-19. They compare this to convalescent plasma, which has naturally occurring antibodies. But they actually say this is better because you only get the good stuff in the lab-made antibodies. Sometimes convalescent plasma carries other stuff our bodies don't actually need or want. Even if the FDA approves this futuristic treatment, you might have a hard time getting your hands on it. It's pricey, supply is limited, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services specifically referenced high-risk populations as recipients. At the end of the day, Dr. Fauci reminds us this isn't a cure either. It's just something to hold us over until we find a vaccine. And we just connected the dots.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Right now at 9, Georgia absentee ballots returned by the tens of thousands. We're going to go behind the scenes to see what it takes to make sure your voice is heard in the November election. Both presidential campaigns throwing a lot of attention and a lot of cash towards Georgia these days. Our exclusive new poll shows us how voters are actually feeling with less than 3 weeks until the election. And a beloved teacher dies suddenly at school, and tonight his friends reflect on the legacy he leaves behind. Well, it's day 3 of early voting, folks, and wait times are improving at many of those metro poll locations. But that does not necessarily mean that it's getting easier for those voters. In Gwinnett County, we found wait times more than 3 hours at some of those locations. And we're going to hear from voters who stood in those lines in a few minutes. Voters did a lot better in Fulton County. We found lines moving a lot quicker at State Farm Arena. There's a good picture of that. It's one of the largest polling places in the country with 300 voting machines and more than 200 Atlanta Hawks employees trained to help out those voters. The Secretary of State calls it one of the best options for early voting, saying one of his staffers was in and out in just minutes this morning. Turning now to Cobb County, half of the early voting locations dropped below an hour tonight. But as 11 Alive's Joe Hankey found out, the wait is a bit longer in Marietta, nearly 2 hours.
Long lines for early voting for the third day in a row. In Marietta, voters lined up before sunrise. Many here saying they understand the wait with record turnout during a pandemic and don't blame election workers.
Well, seeing the conditions now with COVID-19, a lot of people not volunteering to be poll workers, I think it's pretty much as they could do, they're doing so.
Georgia's Secretary of State comparing long wait times in Cobb and around the state to another familiar headache.
It's like everyone jumping on 285 in the morning, and sometimes you have to stagger out the rush.
Raffensperger says thousands of voters showing up as the polls open each morning creates a bottleneck, and he added voting in a pandemic is a slower process.
It takes longer to actually vote through the process because the machines have to be cleaned down, wiped, and so it's just it's a slower, more cumbersome process.
In Cobb County today, we tracked the wait times. The county updates throughout the day for the 9 early voting locations currently open in Cobb. The shortest estimate, 30 minutes this afternoon at Art Place in Northeast Cobb during the early afternoon. While throughout the day at different times, voters waited an estimated 3 hours from South Cobb to Smyrna. Here at the county's main location, the wait times dipped at several Cobb locations during mid-afternoon. Election officials say voters will perhaps find shorter wait times by voting during the middle of the early voting period, avoiding early morning or after work hours, and not waiting until the last 2 days of early voting.
All right, turning now to Cobb County, 2 more voting locations are opening up on Monday. Multiple counties are looking to add more voting machines. So to make sure you call your county elections office to ask where early voting is going to be expanded. You can vote at any open polling location in your county. In Gwinnett County, voters at Shorty Howell are hoping to show up early. It's going to get them through that line a lot faster, but they say they still had to wait 4 to 6 hours to cast their ballot. They say they're frustrated but determined.
Man, we didn't think we'd be here this long. When we got here, the line was way down there, but we saw the spacing, the social distancing, so we thought we'd be all right, but no, it just won't.
No, on election day is going to be crazy. And I didn't feel like waiting that long.
As a woman, as a minority, person of color, I'm more encouraged than ever to get out here and vote. I think it's really important despite how long it takes. There were people of all ages in line. I think everyone seems really committed this year to get out there and be counted.
County officials told 11 Alive yesterday it was adding machines and workers at some of the precincts with the longest lines, the longest waits. And we're keeping an eye on Gwinnett's online wait times and chartered them throughout the day. So overall, we did see some improvement, which is good. Decula even reported no wait time at all. This is at 3 p.m. Generally, wait times today dropped in the early afternoon, and it was a lot shorter today at the elections office in Lawrenceville, but there were still several precincts that took 3 hours or more to get that vote in. And early voting is making the headlines this week, but behind the scenes, workers are processing mountains of absentee ballots already sent in. 11 Alive's Doug Richards shows us what all that looks like.
That filled up fast with absentee ballots cast into Cobb County. As of Tuesday, more than 47,000 voters had cast absentee ballots here. Workers in this room have the job of opening every single exterior envelope, checking the name, address, and signature, and making sure they match. If they match, then the interior envelope containing the ballot is accepted to be processed on election night or the night before. If it's rejected, the county is supposed to notify the voter so the voter can find out what's wrong and fix it if possible.
They'll have
ample amounts of time to sort of rectify the situation, get it back up, and election officials are always ready, willing, and able to provide any other sort of supplemental thing that is needed.
I don't mind spending the time standing in line, but this time, this election is so important to us, to the point that we just want to make sure that it got to where it was going, and by me bringing it, putting it in the box myself.
As of Tuesday, in-person early voting had already exceeded absentee voting in DeKalb, Fulton, Cobb, Gwinnett, Forsyth, Cherokee, and Clayton counties. Those 7 counties report they've accepted a total of 218,000 absentee ballots. The 7 counties report rejecting only 13 ballots. The counties have reported that nearly 800 of the more than 250,000 absentee ballots cast have been tagged as spoiled, which often means the voter has botched the ballot and requested to replace it with another one. As of Tuesday, state records show that so far no absentee ballots have been rejected in DeKalb, Cobb, Gwinnett, and Forsyth counties.
Doug Richards for us tonight. Hey, folks, you're going to find more information about absentee ballots on our voter resource guide. We explain what to do if you requested a ballot, but you still haven't seen it yet. You'll also find links to early voting locations, plus where to find wait times if you're voting in Cobb or Gwinnett counties. Just go to 11alive.com/vote or check the 11 Alive app.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. I know you can barely see my phone right here in the shot. I'm talking to a bunch of folks on Facebook Live right now, between 150 and 200 people. And a lot of people are talking about how nice it was out there today with all that sunshine and comfortable temperatures. And then we're also talking about the next front that's on the way. Now, it's not evident here now. We have clear skies. Everything's looking good. You got to go all the way up to the north to see the next front that's moving our way. And it really has limited moisture with it. You can kind of see right up here, moving through parts of Nebraska, Iowa, into around the Great Lakes region. Just a little bit of rain and a few clouds with that. That's going to be moving our way. And then during the day tomorrow, ahead of this front, with an easterly wind, we're going to see a few more clouds building in and a really low risk for a shower tomorrow, only about a 20% chance for an isolated shower developing tomorrow. And then behind that front, it's going to get a lot cooler. Take a live look out there right now. This is our tower cam up in Athens, looking down on College Avenue, where I think I've been mentioned to you a couple of times. They've closed off that street. You can see the tables that they have there. They've closed that off to traffic, but people can go and dine there on those picnic tables there in the street. But a beautiful night in Athens with clear skies. In fact, it is 63 in Athens right now. You can see from those temperatures, 63 in Covington. We're one of the warmer spots here in Atlanta at 70. Thomaston, you're also 70, but look how cool it is at Blairsville, 53 degrees. Stay with us. We'll talk about how this next front will impact our weather, and behind it, we'll track the colder air that's going to be moving in for the weekend.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. President Donald Trump will visit Georgia on Friday. He's going to be holding a rally in Macon. More attention and a lot more ad money is coming to Georgia in the final weeks, of course. It's his second trip in less than a month. 2 of his children also campaigning here this week, and it shows just how narrow the margin is among Georgia voters between President Trump and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. So our exclusive WXIA Survey USA poll shows that the candidates are nearly tied among Georgia voters. Look at this, folks. The former vice president has a slight lead overall. So when we dig a little bit deeper into those results, we can see some clear dividing lines among groups of voters. More men support President Trump, 53% to 40%. That same margin flips when you look at the ladies here. 55% of the women polled say they are voting for Mr. Biden. Perhaps the most noticeable divide comes when you break down the results by race. 69% of the white voters surveyed support President Trump. For Mr. Biden, those numbers change dramatically. 89% of black voters in Georgia support Joe Biden, as do 63% of Hispanic voters. More tonight. Well, tomorrow night was supposed to be the second presidential debate, but after President Trump, he canceled because he contracted COVID-19, said he would not do a debate virtually. Now the candidates are holding competing town hall meetings instead. NBC News will host President Trump's event in Miami. Today, anchor Savannah Guthrie will moderate his 1-hour conversation with a group of Florida voters. That's going to air tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on 11 Alive. Several Georgia races are drawing a lot of national attention this year with the possibility of some key congressional seats flipping blue. Our exclusive WXIA Survey USA poll shows it's a really tight race among the top 3 candidates for the U.S. Senate special election. To fill the seat formerly held by Senator Johnny Isakson, it's currently held by Republican Kelly Loeffler. So our survey shows that she's fallen slightly behind Democratic challenger Reverend Raphael Warnock. Republican Doug Collins, who left his seat in the House to try for the Senate, he comes in third. Warnock leads all across all age groups, but not by much. The divide is greater at either end of the age spectrum. He earns the most percentage points among voters ages 18 to 34 and those 65 years and older. Loeffler, she narrows that gap among voters ages 35 to 64, and Collins is just 3 points behind Warnock among the youngest voters. Our poll also looking at where support for the special election candidates are going to fall when you break down those numbers by race. So here we go. Loeffler earns the most support among white voters, 38%, followed by Collins, but Warnock has a commanding lead among black voters, garnering 59%. Loeffler and Collins earn just 5 to 3 percentage points respectively, and the lines are less clear among Hispanic voters, where among those surveyed, Warnock and Collins are just 4% apart. So 20 days remain. Just get that. 20 days remain until the November election. And many of you are reaching out to us with your questions and concerns about making sure your vote actually counts. Our 11 Alive voter access team is working around the clock to bring you those answers. So just keep reaching out to us. Just keep sending us those questions you may have. Email us at whereatlspeaks@11alive.com or text us to the number on your screen, 404-885-7600. Well, his family found him shot to death in their driveway. 15 years later, they're still searching for their father's killer. Brittany Kleinpeter spoke to the victim's son about the cold case the family once solved.
Grief and heartache still linger every day since Regan Wheeler was murdered in his Paulding County driveway. And every October 13th is a painful reminder of the cold case. Deputies think the husband and dad was shot to death when trying to stop a burglary at his home. On Tuesday, the reward for Wheeler's case was increased to $30,000. His son says his family has been fighting for this for years.
With the murder happening in broad daylight, in a subdivision like that, there's no way that somebody didn't hear something, didn't see something, and the reward increase is definitely going to help.
The GBI and the Paulding County Sheriff's Office have been working on this case since Wheeler's death in 2005. Recently, the FBI joined the investigation as well. Investigators are hoping more money in the case will generate new leads and possibly an arrest. Call Atlanta Crime Stoppers at 404-577-TIPS if you do have any information.
All right, straight ahead, inspired and enthusiastic. That's how friends are describing a Fulton County music teacher who died last week. Next, his friends share more about his 25 years as an educator and mentor. And don't forget, folks, we're streaming right now on the 11 Alive YouTube channel. Subscribe and join the conversation in the community section. We've got more 11 Alive news, prime time, after the break.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both? Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you
Welcome back, everyone. Last week, a Fulton County music teacher died of a heart attack at school. 59-year-old Derek Cleveland had been a music teacher in APS in Fulton County for more than 25 years. Tracy Amick-Pierre talked to his friend and bandmate about the legacy he's leaving behind.
He was kind-hearted and a great musician.
So when Phil Davis got the call that 59-year-old Derek Cleveland had died, he says it was a shock. Davis first played with Cleveland back in 1986 when Cleveland came back to play at his alma mater, Clark Atlanta University.
When I met him, he was in the jazz orchestra playing lead trumpet, and the lead trumpet is the highest.
Davis says they played with a variety of jazz greats.
Dizzy Gillespie, Wynton Marsalis, Bradford Marsalis, Joe Sample.
But Davis says Cleveland loved playing the most with his students. He taught music at Kennedy Middle School, A. Philip Randolph Elementary School, and Woodland Middle School for more than 25 years.
Derek was inspired and enthusiastic about the music. It makes young musicians also enthusiastic.
Davis says Cleveland will be remembered for inspiring the next generation.
There are very few schools, public schools, that are even teaching music at that level. And so he was one of them. And so yes, that legacy is to keep the music alive.
Cleveland's funeral will be Saturday here at the Flipper Temple AME Church. Now, Davis says the Clark Atlanta University Jazz Orchestra will be playing at his funeral, marking the first time the group has played together since the pandemic.
Today, students in Fulton County had the option of returning back to the classroom full time. This is the final step in the district's reopening plan. Before this, students could be on campus for 2 days a week. Families, they still have that option to continue virtual learning. Hey, here's an important note for you parents out there. The USDA is now extending the free school lunch program. The free meals will now be available through the end of the school year and the spring of 2021. Now, it's supposed to end in December. The pandemic and resulting high unemployment leaves a lot of families out there needing the free meals program's support.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Tracker, still talking to over 100 people on Facebook Live right now, and a lot of people are voting for yes on today's weather with all the sunshine that we had around, very comfortable temperatures that we've been dealing with. Let me see a couple of these comments here. A lot of people are talking about the Braves as well. Stacy Hagen's asking, are there any new storms out there? We do have a couple of new systems that we're watching out in the tropics. Really low risk of developing, and I'll try to get to that. If I don't talk about this weather, I'll do it in my next weather coming up at 9:45. But let me show you what we're watching here on radar. Nothing going on. We have no rain around. We have clear skies. It's a beautiful night. You know, temperatures are cooling down pretty nicely too. This is the next front that's moving our way, and it really has limited moisture and association with it. It's going to swing our way tomorrow, and ahead of that front, we're going to see a few clouds and a low risk for a shower, and I mean a really low risk. Let me show you what we're watching out there right now. Take a look outside. This is another look in Athens. We have the dry roads in Athens at this hour, and feeling really good with temperatures in Athens at this hour at 63 degrees. It is a little warmer here in Atlanta. I want you to notice when you check out these temperatures that we're seeing a little bit of a range, and oftentimes when we have clear skies out there, then we see a range in temperatures. Like it's cooler in Carrollton, where it's 63, cooling off at a faster rate outside the city. 63 also in Covington, 64 in Peachtree City. We're 70 here, and then 53 right now up in Blairsville, 59 in Clayton. Nice and cool up in the mountains of North Georgia. Here in town, we'll watch these temperatures falling and through those 60s during the overnight hours. We'll start off in the morning in the low 60s, but we will see a few clouds that are going to start developing here overnight and into the early morning hours. No real rain from those. I think it's going to be later in the day tomorrow with that really low risk for a couple of showers in metro Atlanta. An 8 on the odometer tomorrow. That's our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. 80 degrees for a high temperature. We hit 80 today as well, so we're going to be warm again, but we will see a few more clouds mixing in with the sunshine. And folks, let me tell you, I put in, Chesley and I talked about this. We were talking about, you know, do we say a 20% chance for a shower, a less than 20% chance for a shower? And of course, right when I put in a 20% chance for a shower, the models are scaling back on that. I was really never impressed with our rain chances for tomorrow. And let me show you what we're watching. In the morning, some clouds building over on the east side, maybe a few showers in northeast Georgia, but I don't expect any here. And then through the day tomorrow, it's really going to be just a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Earlier, this model was showing a little bit of green here, indicating that really low risk for a shower. Now that's more off to the east. So I really don't think we're going to see much in the form of any rain developing here. This is all ahead of that next front that's moving our way. And then when the front moves through, the winds are going to shift from the northwest. We'll see a few clouds around on Friday. Those will clear out during the day. And this northwesterly flow that continues in here is really going to cool us down a lot more as we head into the weekend, especially for the morning hours on Saturday and Sunday. So we're warm out there right now. We'll stay warm tomorrow, but this is that cooler air that starts moving our way. We'll feel that later in the day Friday, and then especially on Saturday and Sunday morning with those lows dipping down into the 40s. So here's what we're watching with your 7-day outlook. We will see 80 degrees for a high temperature here on your Thursday, 72 for Friday, so it's going to be a little cooler getting into Friday afternoon. And then, you know, clouds will decrease as well. Plenty of sunshine Saturday. Lows in the 40s, though, with highs near 69. 40s again Sunday morning with a high of 71. Then low rain chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 20 to 30%.
This is a good ball club we're playing, and they're explosive, as we saw. I didn't feel good with a big lead. I mean, because these guys are too powerful, but it's that's a good ball game to win. They all are now.
Oh boy, it wasn't easy, but the Braves are up 2-0 on the Dodgers. Game 3 happening right now, and the Dodgers are up by 2 touchdowns. That's right, 15-1. So it's not looking good right now, but the Braves fans know this thing is far from over.
Pretty confident. We haven't lost a game yet in the postseason, so we're feeling pretty good.
Nervous from Atlanta. Every Atlanta sports team, we know what happens. Very nervous.
I felt like the Dodgers would be our our worst match this year, and I was a little worried at first, but I think we've got this now.
I think it's the year for the Braves, and I think they're going to go to World Series. We have a great team. We won on Monday, we won last night, and we're going to win tonight.
Things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear, on 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Studies show domestic violence is increasing during this pandemic, but a new initiative from the Department of Justice is hoping to have an impact to turn that around. Today, the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia joined a panel with domestic violence survivors and experts to talk about Project Guardian. Its main focus here is prosecuting violent repeat offenders who possess firearms, including those with a history of domestic violence. U.S. Attorney B.J. Pock says when abusers have a gun, it can drastically increase the risk of a victim being shot or killed. But right now, he says limitations in the law prevent officers from taking that gun away from abusers.
If the abuser has a previous misdemeanor conviction for domestic violence, he or she is not supposed to have a firearm at all, right? But the issue is that the state agents or the police officer responding to that call has no authority right now to enforce federal law to take that gun away or arrest that person. That's why it has to be resulting back to the federal agents to do that.
Man, that makes it really tough for those agents out there. So there have been several attempts in Georgia to get those laws like that one he just talked about changed. But the U.S. Attorney says right now he's focused on educating officers on how to call ATF agents, federal agents, to take someone's gun away if they have a domestic violence conviction. And we have covered so many heartbreaking instances of domestic violence in our state of Georgia. The one that sticks out is Crystal Stone. Her husband allegedly lured her to a hospital where she had worked. This is back in August. Police reports that he fired into the car dozens of times, killing her. The detective we spoke with says that she did everything right. She filed for divorce, a divorce report, a domestic violence report, and she filed for divorce as well. Now, her story struck a chord with so many people who say there are also a lot of survivors or family members who have been through a lot of this. This person says here, she says, as an abused survivor, I think sometimes the only reason I'm alive is we did not have a firearm in the house. I pray so much for her family. If you or someone you know needs help, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at the number on your screen, 1-800-799-7233. It's free and it's available 24/7. Or if you don't feel safe making that call or talking to someone, just go online, thehotline.org. Coming up next, a father killed in cold blood, and tonight, the new efforts to finally close this case 15 years later.
Newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
A Georgia family has renewed hope tonight to solve a 15-year-old murder. In 2005, Regan Wheeler was shot and killed in the driveway of his home in Dallas, Georgia, after interrupting what investigators believe was a burglary in progress. Well, for years, the sheriff's office and the GBI have been trying to figure out who shot him. The FBI recently joined this case as well, and yesterday announcing that they were offering a $16,000 reward, and this is on top of the already $14,000 being offered by Crime Stoppers. Wheeler's son says his family has been fighting for years for this extra reward money, and they think that this truly can make a difference.
There's no way, in my opinion, that 15 years could have gone by with the murder happening in broad daylight in a subdivision like that. There's no way that somebody didn't hear something, didn't see something.
Wheeler was a man of faith. He would minister to families at the Paulding County Jail on Sundays. His son says that his family is holding on to their faith and willing to fight as long as it takes for justice.
I do believe in my heart that there's lots of interest still in the case. There's lots of good people, federal agencies that are investigating the case. I would like to think that all of the cold case murders that you see solved, that I watch on TV all the time, and I look over to my wife and I tell her, I said, I hope one day my dad's case is on there and it's solved.
Absolutely. Detectives say they think someone out there has some information, the information they need. If you want to reach out, we have a contact. We have contact information on this story on 11alive.com. We're also going to hear more from the family on this case tonight on Up Late at 11 o'clock. All right, switching gears right now, Fulton County voters now have a new tool to navigate through the early voting lines. The county is now joining other counties in posting wait times online. So all you have to do is check out these times, and we've shared a link to that on our website at 11alive.com/vote. Day 3 of confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Judge Amy Coney Barrett. The topics once again ranging from gun control and voting and LGBTQ rights to race and abortion. And like many other nominees before her, Judge Barrett proclaimed her judicial independence and commitment to the Constitution. Republicans are hoping to wrap this hearing up tomorrow and get her confirmed in less than 2 weeks.
We're continuing to watch dry air that's over us right now, but we have a cold front that's going to be moving in as we go through the day tomorrow, and that's going to build up just a little bit of moisture ahead of that front. In fact, take a look at this on the bigger screen. You can see what we're watching here with that moisture down to the south. Now, what you see here, the blue and purples indicate the dry air on this map, and when you start seeing it get a little lighter blue and especially into the oranges and reds, that's when there's a little more moisture around, but there's not a lot of that. It's just going to be a gradual increase in our humidity tomorrow, a few more clouds around, a really low risk for a couple of sprinkles, and then as the front moves through, just a little bit of moisture with that, really not in the form of rain. That's going to sweep through during the day on Friday, and once it does, it pushes all the moisture out. It reinforces the drier air that we're going to have in our area here as we go through the day on Saturday and on Sunday. It's going to be dry. It's also going to be cooler with that dry air in place, but it's not going to stick around forever. Once we get into next week, a little more moisture starts to build in again. Not a lot of it, but that increases our rain chances just a little bit heading into the first part of next week. We'll talk more about those rain chances and what's going to happen with the temperatures coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Chrissy, in a couple of minutes are new details on the disappearance of Natalie Jones. The GBI confirming today that the body found inside her car last week is in fact the 27-year-old mom of 2. Jones was last seen July 5th in Jackson Gap, Alabama, and earlier this month, the GBI says that her car was found in Heard County. The Heard County Sheriff's Office says it's waiting for GBI's medical examiner to determine how she died and whether foul play may have been involved. And they're also continuing to look at men who were romantically involved with her as possible persons of interest. A Georgia sheriff has died, according to America's Times reporter. Sumter County Sheriff Pete Smith had been battling health issues and recently contracted coronavirus. Governor Brian Kemp tweeting out his condolences this morning. Smith was first elected to sheriff in 2004. The governor will appoint an interim sheriff. Voters will elect a replacement sheriff next month. And while Georgia is making progress in the battle against COVID-19, some counties stand out in the latest White House Coronavirus Task Force report. Gwinnett, Fulton, DeKalb had the highest number of new cases in the last 3 weeks. So the zip codes can really help reveal potential hotspots for COVID in these areas. Gwinnett County's Lawrenceville zip code leads the region with more than 3,900 cases. In Fulton County, zip code 3039 had the highest number of cases this week. That's near the airport, and they're dealing with more than 1,800 cases there. In DeKalb County, the Stone Mountain area code, zip code there is 30083, had hit 1,500 total cases as of Sunday. You can find the latest COVID-19 numbers on 11alive.com, and we're going to update them every single day for you. Just look for the special coronavirus section. You know, it's the fear for many families out there. If one person tests positive for COVID-19, then the virus could possibly spread from loved one to loved one. Well, today, First Lady Melania Trump is sharing her experience with coronavirus, talking about her fears for her family. And she also revealed for the very first time that her son with President Donald Trump, 14-year-old Barron Trump, had COVID-19. She says that he contracted it earlier this month around the same time as his parents. The president's physician previously released a statement saying all the president's children had tested negative. Well, Mrs. Trump says Barron tested positive 1 day later. She said she had no symptoms and has since tested negative. Mrs. Trump also talks about her personal recovery journey, saying that the most impactful part of her process was the opportunity to reflect. She also says that she hopes to resume her duties as First Lady really soon and that she's praying for our country. Well, here's something shocking to talk about here, folks. The entire jail population of Bartow County is now under quarantine. So this comes after several inmates tested positive for coronavirus. The sheriff's office says most of the cases are asymptomatic, but they are still taking some precautions to try to stop the spread. Inmates will still be allowed to do video visitations, emails, and also make phone calls. Well, the holiday travel season is just around the corner, and airlines are still desperate to get some help from Washington, D.C. Delta Airlines is the first major carrier to have some huge losses, financial losses, and it will likely be echoed across the entire industry. So far, Delta has been able to avoid the massive furloughs that have hit a lot of the other major airlines, but say it could be more than 2 years before they're able to return to normal revenue. Here's NBC's Blaine Alexander.
This morning, trouble in the air for an airline giant. Delta Airlines reporting a $5.4 billion loss for the third quarter, a stark contrast to its $1.5 billion profit this time last year. It's the latest sign of turbulence in the skies as the pandemic deals the airline industry a massive blow.
It's going to take some time, into the spring, early part of next year before we start to see profits as well as cash flow.
Delta has taken steps to reassure passengers even as the company hemorrhages cash, pledging to block middle seats through at least early January, even as most major airlines have returned to full capacity.
Delta is generally regarded as one of the best run airlines in the world, and they reported a blockbuster loss, even as they've tried to reduce costs.
What does this mean for the airline industry as a whole?
big picture, this means the airline industry really needs the bailout.
But that government bailout not coming yet, with talks in Washington still stalled. The industry left up in the air even amid signs that traffic is slowly picking up. Over the weekend, TSA screened nearly 985,000 travelers in a single day. That is the highest volume since mid-March, but still a far cry from the more than 2 million daily travelers pre-pandemic. That, combined with fewer flights, could mean fewer seats. But with the holiday travel season just around the corner, if you are planning to fly, there's good news.
Almost every major airline has gotten rid of change fees, so you can change free of charge or even to a lower flight. So there is more flexibility than ever before for travelers. And with record low fares and increased award miles flights, it is a good time for those looking for a deal.
All right, let's take a look at 3 other big headlines we're following tonight. A 17-year-old accused of killing 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin, will not face charges in his home state of Illinois. The 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse is charged with shooting 2 protesters with an AR-15 rifle during a demonstration over the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Officials say the gun used in the shooting was purchased, stored, and used in Wisconsin, and that there is no evidence the teenager ever physically possessed it in Illinois. Rittenhouse was arrested at his home in Illinois and is being held at a juvenile detention center there without bond because of the criminal charges in Wisconsin. A white woman will face charges for calling police on a black man who was bird watching in New York City. Today, investigators revealed Amy Cooper called police a second time, claiming Christian Cooper was assaulting her. When police got there, she admitted that never ever happened. Well, the video confrontation went viral earlier this year on social media. Cooper is expected to be arraigned in October for making a false police report. Facebook is launching a brand new global policy banning ads that discourage people from getting vaccines. So this comes amid a series of policy changes aimed at addressing problematic content on social media. And this includes a temporary ban on political ads following the November 3rd presidential election. Facebook also says it's working with the World Health Organization and UNICEF on public health campaigns to increase immunization rates. Some news involving Alabama Crimson Tide and the coronavirus. More on that after the break.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
All right, turning our attention to a developing story out of the University of Alabama. Head coach Nick Saban says that he tested positive for coronavirus. This was according to the university, that he has no symptoms. Alabama hosts UGA Saturday night, and no word yet if Coach Saban will be there on the sidelines. I'm sure he'll be around somewhere, though, right? Saturday's SEC showdown between Florida and LSU is postponed now. The decision was made after several players for the Gators tested positive for COVID-19. 21 players have tested positive, and others have been isolated because of contact tracing. The game is tentatively rescheduled for December 12th. Former Falcons head coach Dan Quinn is saying thank you to the city of Atlanta. The team released his 4-paragraph statement. He said being the head coach of the Falcons was a privilege of a lifetime and called the Falcons his family. And we've linked his entire full letter on 11alive.com. The Falcons, now led by the interim head coach Raheem Morris, would try for their first win Sunday against Minnesota. And if things seem hopeless right now, Falcons fans, the players are not buying it.
I started off 5-0 before and lost 6 straight. So I think that anything is possible. You know, I've been up 25 points in the Super Bowl before. So anything is possible to me. Like, you can't tell me that, you know, it can't be turned around. It's just, it takes some strong will, and it takes, you know, you got to really show what's important to you.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. It was nice and warm out there today. You know, it was a cool start with temperatures that moved down to 55 degrees. You know, that is right where we should be this time of year. The average low for this time of year is 55, and we were at 55. This afternoon, though, we were warmer than average. We hit 80. We should be around 73 for this time of year, so we were about 7 degrees above the average. Now, the record high for today's date is 87, so we were just 7 degrees away from the record. And again, no rain here. It was a nice dry day, but we're keeping an eye on that rain surplus, where we're way above average in rainfall for the year by 18 inches above average. And that rainfall surplus and all the moisture that we have in the ground and in the trees, I really think is going to help us with our fall color as we go through this week, and we're already seeing some touches of color up in the North Georgia mountains. We've got a cold front that's on the way as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow and into Friday. It has really limited moisture with it, though, and the rain chances tomorrow are going to be really low. I'm going with a 20% chance. I really think that most areas will not get any rain at all. Behind that front, we're going to see a surge of cooler air that will move our way. Right now, we're still holding at 70 here. We're one of the warmer spots out of all of these reporting stations. Thomaston, you're also at 70, but we have a lot more of these low and mid 60s here on the south side. Also some upper 70s, upper 60s in Marietta and also Duluth. Athens, you're at 63, feeling pretty good there. Even 50s in Blairsville and also into Clayton. So on the wasometer for tomorrow, this is our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. We're going to go with an 8. The reason it's an 8 is because, number one, these temperatures are above average tomorrow. 80 degrees is our high. We're also going to see a few more clouds mixing in with the sunshine, not a total overcast. We're just talking about a mix of sun and clouds. And then there may be just a few raindrops around. That rain chance, though, is really on the low end. Here's the forecast track. You can see here tomorrow morning, we have more clouds over on the east side, more sunshine on the west side. And with that easterly flow and southeasterly flow, maybe even a couple of light showers in parts of northeast Georgia. By afternoon, partly cloudy skies here. Temperature still up to 80 degrees. And, you know, we put in a 20% chance for a shower for tomorrow. Now the models are even scaling back on that. So I think it's going to be a less than 20% chance for a shower. That will mainly be over on the east side. The front moves through on Friday. Winds shift and come out of the northwest. We'll have a few clouds on Friday mixing in with the sunshine, but no clouds, but no rain with those clouds. clouds. And then temperatures as we clear out Friday night into Saturday are going to be really cool going into Saturday morning with lows in the 40s, both Saturday and on Sunday morning. So it's going to be a nice fall weekend. Now, we've been telling you about this system in the central Atlantic that we've been watching that has a low risk of development. It still has a low risk of development, only about a 10% chance of developing over the next 2 to 5 days. There are now 2 additional systems that we're watching that really haven't developed yet. We're just kind of watching a cluster of clouds up here in the north central Atlantic that could develop into a tropical system. It only has about a 20% chance of developing over the next 5 days. This is the one that we need to watch. Now, it's not developing quickly. Over the next 5 days, it only has about a 20% chance of developing, but I think into next week, this little area may start developing into a stronger area of low pressure as this moves up south of Cuba. The models have kind of been going back and forth a little bit. In fact, the European model doesn't even show that system at all, but the American model is trying to show that developing into something in the next week. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that for you. 20% chance for a shower Thursday, a high of 80. Cooler Friday with decreasing clouds. Chilly in the morning Saturday and Sunday with lows in the 40s, highs around 69 Saturday, 71 Sunday, and then low rain chances moving into next week.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of...
You know, this is a big deal here. A lot of folks on social media are going back and forth over a new Trump campaign ad. It implies that Dr. Anthony Fauci praised the president's COVID response. Let's verify.
We're talking about a new political ad put out by Donald Trump's campaign this week. It talks about the president's handling of the coronavirus pandemic and then has a quote from Dr. Anthony Fauci. Here's a short clip.
President Trump tackled the virus head on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be
doing more.
Since this ad came out, Dr. Fauci has talked to multiple news outlets saying he's being misrepresented in this ad. So let's verify. Did Dr. Fauci say he couldn't imagine anybody doing more than President Trump like this ad implies? Our main source is an interview from Fox News in March. Dr. Fauci is asked about the coronavirus task force that he's a part of. Let's watch a clip.
Tom, I'm down at the White House virtually every day with the task force. I'm connected by phone throughout the day and into the night. When I say night, I'm talking 12, 1, 2 in the morning. I'm not the only one. There's a whole group of us that are doing that. It's every single day. So I can't imagine that under any circumstances that anybody could be doing more.
So Dr. Fauci is specifically talking about the coronavirus task force, not President Trump. But the political ad edited the statement and put it right next to the president. From the original clip and its context, we can verify the claim that Dr. Fauci said the statement about President Trump is false. Dr. Fauci has worked with 6 U.S. presidents, and he's never endorsed one or actively participated in a campaign ad before.
Netflix says no more free rides now. The company has stopped offering free trials to U.S. viewers, phasing out the option this month. So this is following a similar move in a number of other countries in recent years. To replace the free trial, Netflix is now introducing new ways to attract potential subscribers, including posting some educational content on YouTube. It also recently launched a site where you can watch a number of episodes from its top series for free. Kelly Jones didn't think a camera was recording when she did a happy dance in the Decatur parking lot. It was. The video is now going viral, and the story behind it is pretty amazing.
It was just a lot going on.
It was a job interview she hoped would change her life.
I was homeless for 2 years. I've been jumping from back and forth from one house to another.
Kalea had no idea the woman who would interview her, Dakara Spence, understood.
I know what that's like because I was also homeless as well.
The dance came right after the interview. She stopped, looked both ways, and did a happy dance.
The dance was like a happy sign.
Joy, and a moment to release the pressure life had placed on her.
Like I did it.
It's going to be a nice day tomorrow. We will see a few more clouds and a really low rain chance. I've got 20% there. I really think it's going to be a less than 20% chance for a shower Thursday. Maybe just a few raindrops around. And then decreasing clouds Friday. Cooler air moves in after 80 for a high Thursday. We go to 72 Friday. Lows in the 40s Saturday and Sunday with highs at 69 Saturday, 71 Sunday. And then a low rain chance comes back in for the beginning and middle of next week.
All right, we're going to see you on Up Late at 11 o'clock on our sister station, 11 Alive. We got more news and weather coming up next right here on the ATL with Jennifer Bellamy and also Chris. Stay with us.
It's cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Georgia absentee ballots returned by the tens of thousands. We go behind the scenes to see what it takes to ensure your political voice is counted for the November election. And both presidential campaigns throwing a lot of attention and money towards Georgia these days. Our exclusive new poll shows us how voters are feeling with less than 3 weeks until Election Day. Plus, 13 people charged in a deadly shooting tonight. What led to the violent incident? Two groups of young people with guns, angry and arguing with one another. One person shot to death. And now police are charging 13 adults and teenagers with murder and other crimes. Our John Sherrick is in Kennesaw with new details just released in this investigation.
A burst of anger and violence, more than a dozen enraged people, all in their teens and 20s, in two rival groups going after each other with guns.
And Sunday night, police and witnesses say those two groups squared off at this apartment community off of George Busby Parkway in Kennesaw. And police say a teen in one group shot at someone in the other group who was carrying a rifle and killed him.
I heard guys screaming and yelling and a gunshot.
Deborah Roque, who asked us not to show her face, says she called 911 and looked outside.
And there was a man laying across two cars that were parked there in the front. He was bleeding from his neck.
Neighbors ran up to try to help him while she says the young people ran away.
And it was young, like 15, 16-year-old teens, 5 of them, ran and got in the car and left.
Leaving her, she says, nearly in shock. Cobb County police say the man killed was 23-year-old DeVere Blake.
And now police have charged a teen with murdering Blake. And they've charged 12 other people in this case as well, all of them teens and adults. All but 2 of them were in jail as of Wednesday night. Police have not yet released any names as they continue to investigate what led up to this violent, deadly confrontation.
New details in the disappearance of Natalie Jones. The GBI officially confirming today that the body found inside her car last week is in fact the 27-year-old mother of 2. Jones was last seen on July 5th in Jackson's Gap, Alabama. Earlier this month, the GBI says her car was found in Heard County. The Heard County Sheriff's Office says it's waiting for the GBI's medical examiner to determine how she died and whether foul play may have been involved. And they're continuing to look at men who were romantically involved with her as possible persons of interest. It is a fear for so many families. One person tests positive for COVID-19, and then the virus spreads from loved one to loved one. Today, First Lady Melania Trump is sharing her experience with coronavirus, talking about her fears for her family. She also revealed for the first time that her son with President Donald Trump, 14-year-old Barron Trump, also had COVID-19. She says he contracted it earlier this month around the same time as his parents. The president's physician previously released a statement saying all of the president's children had tested negative. Mrs. Trump says Barron tested positive 1 day later. She says he had no symptoms and has since tested negative. Ms. Trump also talks about her personal recovery journey, saying the most impactful part of her process was the opportunity to reflect. She also says she hopes to resume her duties as First Lady soon, and she is praying for our country. President Donald Trump will visit Georgia again on Friday. He is holding a rally down in Macon, and more attention and more ad money are coming into our state in these final weeks. Now, this will be his second trip of President Trump in less than a month, even as two of his children have also campaigned here this week. That speaks to how narrow the margin is among Georgia voters between the president and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. Our exclusive WXIA Survey USA poll shows the candidates are nearly tied among Georgia voters. The former vice president has a slight lead overall, but it's well within the margin of error. And when we dig deeper into those results, you can see some clear dividing lines among different groups of voters. More men support President Trump, 53% to 40%. That same margin flips when you look at women. 55% of women polled say they are voting for Mr. Biden. Perhaps the most noticeable divide comes when you break down the results by race. 69% of white voters surveyed support President Trump. For Mr. Biden, those numbers change dramatically. 89% of black voters in Georgia support Biden, as do 63% of Hispanic voters. Signs of improvement today, though, coming as we talk about now voting early. We are still hearing from people that are waiting hours to cast their ballots. The Secretary of State says the best option to avoid long lines in Fulton County is to head out to State Farm Arena. There are 300 voting machines there, and more than 200 Atlanta Hawks employees have been trained to assist voters. This morning, the Secretary of State said it took a member of his staff just a few minutes to get in and out. But this option is, again, only available for people who are registered to vote in Fulton County. As early voting continues, counties are receiving and processing absentee ballots, and so far, they're rejecting very few of them, though that could change. 11 Alive's Doug Richards has more on the process.
This is a room where ballots have been cast but still haven't been counted. It's where tens of thousands of absentee ballots are being processed in DeKalb County. Absentee balloting set records in the June primary because of the pandemic, and the data so far indicates similar popularity for the November election. The process here is not rocket science, but it's arguably more important to some of the absentee voters who dropped off ballots in boxes a few feet away from that room.
This election is so important to us, to the point that we just want to make sure that it got to where it was going, and by me bringing it and putting it in the box myself, this is the end of it for us, so we know that we got it where it needs to go.
At the DeKalb voter registration office, voters can either stand in line or they can approach the two steel boxes set up adjacent to the line and drop off their absentee ballot. The first 2 days of early voting show in-person voting is still more popular. As of Tuesday, in-person early voting has already exceeded absentee voting in DeKalb, Fulton, Cobb, Gwinnett, Forsyth, Cherokee, and Clayton counties. Those 7 counties report they've accepted a total of 218,000 absentee ballots. The 7 counties report rejecting only 13 ballots, although another 789 have been marked spoiled.
A spoiled ballot is one where there's some sort of discrepancy fundamental to the ballot itself.
Lucille Wenegema says voters with spoiled ballots can replace them and try again. The absentee ballot processing doesn't end here. Workers here are only opening the exterior envelopes, leaving unopened an interior envelope that actually contains the ballot itself. The exterior envelope has the name and signature of the voter, and the signatures are checked for a match with state records. If it checks out, absentee voters can track it online.
This is actually my first time doing absentee ballot. I felt like you can actually track it, which you can't always do when you're voting in person.
State officials are supposed to notify voters if their absentee ballots are rejected early in the process. So far, DeKalb, Gwinnett, Forsyth, and Cobb counties have rejected 0 ballots.
Well, as for those spoiled ballots, you'll also be alerted about that as well, although most are self-reported, with voters requesting new ones because they messed up something with the originals. 11 Alive is dedicated to making sure your vote is secure. So if you have a problem at the polls or a question, contact our voter access team. You can email us at whereatlspeaks@11alive.com or text us at 885-7600. Don't forget, you can also check out our voter resource guide for information on all kinds of things related to the election, like where to vote and how to check wait times for some counties. All you have to do is head over to 11alive.com/vote. The entire jail population at the Bartow County Jail is now quarantining. This comes after several inmates tested positive for COVID-19. The sheriff's office says most of those cases are asymptomatic, but they are taking precautions to stop the spread. Inmates will still be allowed to do video visitations, to send emails, and make phone calls. A Georgia sheriff has died after contracting COVID-19. According to the America's Times Recorder, Sumter County Sheriff Pete Smith had been battling health issues recently and contracted the virus. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp tweeted out his condolences this morning. Smith was first elected as sheriff in 2004. The governor will appoint an interim sheriff, and voters will elect the replacement sheriff next month. And while Georgia is making progress in the battle against COVID-19, some counties stand out in the latest White House coronavirus task force report. Gwinnett, Fulton, and DeKalb had the highest number of new cases in the last 3 weeks. Zip codes can help reveal potential hotspots for COVID-19 in these areas. Gwinnett's Lawrenceville zip code of 30044 leads the region with more than 3,900 cases. In Fulton, zip codes 30349 had the highest number of cases this week. That's near the airport, and they're dealing with more than 1,800 cases. And in DeKalb, the Stone Mountain area, including zip code 30083, they hit 1,500 total cases as of Sunday. Remember, you can find the latest COVID-19 numbers on 11alive.com. We are updating those numbers for you there every day. Just look for the special coronavirus section.
Dry weather here in our area right now, but we have a cold front that's going to move in later in the week. Ahead of that front, a little bit of moisture will move in, and that'll give us a really low rain chance. We'll talk about that and what happens once the front moves through our area.
Inspired and enthusiastic. That's how friends are describing a Fulton County music teacher who died last week. Next, his friends share more about his 25 years as an educator and mentor.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20.
Students in Fulton County grieving after a beloved music teacher died from a heart attack at school. Tracy McPeer spoke with friends about the legacy Derek Cleveland leaves behind after teaching at Fulton and APS schools for more than 25 years.
He was kind-hearted and a great musician.
So when Phil Davis got the call that 59-year-old Derek Cleveland had died, he says it was a shock. Davis first played with Cleveland back in 1986 when Cleveland came back to play at his alma mater, Clark Atlanta University.
when I met him, he was in the jazz orchestra playing lead trumpet, and the lead trumpet is the highest.
Davis says they played with a variety of jazz greats.
Dizzy Gillespie, Wynton Marsalis, Bradford Marsalis, Joe Sample.
But Davis says Cleveland loved playing the most with his students. He taught music at Kennedy Middle School, A. Philip Randolph Elementary School, and Woodland Middle School for more than 25 years.
Derek was inspired and enthusiastic about the music. It makes young musicians also enthusiastic.
Davis says Cleveland will be remembered for inspiring the next generation.
There are very few schools, public schools, that are even teaching music at that level. And so he was one of them. And so yes, that legacy is to keep the music alive.
Cleveland's funeral will be Saturday here at the Flipper Temple AME Church. Now, Davis says the Clark Atlanta University Jazz Orchestra will be playing at his funeral, marking the first time the group has played together since the pandemic.
Well, we mentioned earlier about this front that's moving our way, coming in from the north, and it has really limited moisture in association with it. Not a lot of rain around with this at all. You can see it's way up to the north right now, moving through parts of Nebraska, into Iowa, and up toward the Great Lakes region. Now, this is going to be pushing closer to us tomorrow. Up ahead of this front, we're going to still see some moisture trying to develop with that, with the relative humidity coming up a little bit, and just a really low rain chance. I really don't think many of us are going to be seeing any rain out of this at all. 70 degrees for a high temperature, actually for our temperature right now here in Atlanta. Outside the city, it is a little bit cooler. Now, when we have clear skies like we have tonight and relatively dry air, a lot of places cool off faster than we do here in Atlanta. We tend to hold on to some of that heating a little bit longer. In fact, it's 61 in Carrollton right now, 63 in Peachtree City and Covington. Athens also at 63. Duluth and Marietta, mid 60s. We've got some lower 60s up in Canton, even 50s in Blairsville and Clayton. Really comfortable night with those clear skies, a lot of stars that we're seeing in the sky tonight. We're going to watch those temperatures as we continue through the 10 o'clock hour down into the 60s, and then those 50s coming in, actually lower 60s coming in early in the morning. I think we'll bottom out right at 60 degrees with a few clouds that start developing here early in the morning. So as you know, here at 11 Alive, we rate your weather on a scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect 11 Alive day. We were close to it today. We were at a 10 today. Tomorrow's going to be an 8 though, more clouds around, and just that really low rain chance, and with a high temperature of 80 degrees, which is above average. So that's why we gave it an 8. Here's the forecast track. We have that east flow right now, and that's what's going to give us a few clouds tomorrow early in the morning. There'll be more clouds, though, over to the east. Like Athens will be mostly cloudy, Gainesville mostly cloudy here, Clayton mostly cloudy, and then maybe even a couple of showers up in far north Georgia. Parts of White County might see some sprinkles in the morning. Habersham County, Stevens County, Franklin County might have a couple of those light showers in the morning. At lunchtime, mix of sun and clouds here. And you know, we added in a 20% chance for a shower tomorrow, but I really think it's going to be less than a 20% chance for a shower, with most areas staying dry. Just that mix of sun and clouds. The front passes through, a northwest flow comes in. On Friday, we'll see a few clouds around. They'll be clearing out later in the day with high temperatures in the afternoon. On Friday, that'll be in the lower 70s. And then on Saturday, we watch those temperatures drop into the 40s for the early morning hours, both Saturday and Sunday. So warm air over us now. That'll be replaced by this cooler air that's going to be sliding our way. We'll be feeling that coming in on Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday morning, those lows in the 40s with highs Saturday in the 60s, and then we're back up to the 70s as more of that warmer air comes back in heading into next week. And as that warmer air comes in, we'll also have a little more moisture, which will be a low rain chance into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Dry weather, though, through the next few days. Thursday, only a 20% chance for a shower. Friday, decreasing clouds later in the day. Cooler air, 72 for a high. There you see the 40s in the morning, Saturday and Sunday. High Saturday at 69, then lower 70s Sunday, mid 70s Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. But the rain chances at 20% Monday, 30% on Tuesday and Wednesday. Take a look at your weather wow moment. This is a cool picture that we have from Scott Anna up at Vogel State Park up in North Georgia. Always a beautiful place. I love Vogel State Park. So nice. And there you see a lot of green, but some colors there, the fall colors, little touches of that coming through. I really think these colors are going to be exploding over the next few weeks, thanks to all the sunshine and crisp, clear nights that we've been dealing with. We'd love for you to send us your weather wow moment. We get these a lot of times from our 11 Alive storm trackers. If you would like to be a part of that group on Facebook, just search 11 Alive Storm Trackers. Ask to become a member. We'll let you in, and you can be a part of this local, exclusive weather community.
A reason to dance. A Georgia woman goes viral when security cameras caught her happy dance after nailing a job interview. You'll meet her and her new boss as they share their unlikely connection next.
To help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers?
Well, it's one thing to dance and say to dance like no one is watching, but it's quite another thing to actually do it. Kalea Jones, in what she thought was a private moment in Decatur, did just that, and it's now gone viral. Cheryl Preheim has a story behind her joyous moment.
A moment in the parking lot in Decatur now shared all over the world. A young woman who felt so good about her job interview that she stopped, looked both ways, and did a happy dance.
Welcome, welcome.
Now Kalea is sharing the story behind it.
It was just a lot going on.
It was a job interview she hoped would change her life.
I was having anxiety attacks.
She says she felt tremendous pressure when she got to the Spot Sports Bar and Grill.
I was homeless for 2 years. I've been jumping from back and forth from one house to another. It was sometimes my friend's house. It would sometimes be my grandmother's.
Kalea had no idea the woman who would interview her, Dakara Spence, understood. She'd been there too.
And when she came in the interview with her slippers and her scarf on, I know what that's like because I was also homeless as well.
The dance came right after the interview before she knew if she'd get the job. Joy, relief, and a moment to release the pressure life had placed on her.
And I went in there and been myself. And basically the dance was like a happy sign to show him, like I did it.
Dakara, her new boss, watched it from the window of the grill, hired Kalea on the spot.
I told myself if I ever have the opportunity to get a job back to somebody else, I'm going to do it because nobody should be judged.
And shared the surveillance video of the dance online. Now millions of others have had their own moment of joy watching it.
Jones says she is loving her new job and she is excited to be receiving her very first paycheck this week. Coming up next, a father killed in cold blood. Tonight, the new efforts to finally close this case after 15 years.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights.
New tonight at 10, for the first time, Latinos represent the largest minority voting bloc for the upcoming election. Natisha Lance takes a closer look at the community some say gets ignored come election season. She's joining us now live in Midtown Atlanta. Natisha?
Well, Jennifer, it is a historic year for Latino voters. As you just mentioned, this is the first year they will outnumber black voters, not only across the country, but also right here in Georgia.
Our campaign has been very aggressive, knowing the power behind the Latino vote this election.
The Trump campaign is doing everything we can to make sure that Latinos' voices are heard at the local level and also at the national level.
The Trump and Biden campaigns duking it out for what will be the largest minority voting bloc this election. Latinos will make up 32 million voters across the country, according to Pew Research. Take a look at our exclusive 11 Alive poll. You'll see in Georgia, Latinos are the largest group of registered voters, even more than white voters. But studies show the Latino community is often overlooked on the campaign trail. As of September 14th, 60% of Latino voters said they had not been contacted by anyone from a campaign. But the Trump and Biden campaigns say they are not taking the voters for granted, working hard to secure their votes.
Healthcare, education, and the economy are key issues the Latino community cares so deeply about.
Family issues and the economic issues, I think, rank number 1 and number 2 amongst Latino families in Georgia.
Both Democrats and Republicans seem to partially agree on the most important issue among Latino voters. But it is Vice President Joe Biden who is winning over Georgia voters. Our 11 Alive poll revealed 63% said they plan to vote for Biden in the November election, compared to 36% for President Trump. And if we've learned anything from previous years, it is that the Latino vote just continues to increase and go up year after year after year, making this a group that candidates can no longer afford to ignore.
Natisha, thank you. A Georgia family has renewed hope now for answers amid the latest push to solve a murder that happened 15 years ago. In 2005, Reagan Wheeler was shot and killed in his driveway in his home in Dallas, Georgia, after interrupting what investigators believe was a burglary. For years, the sheriff's office and the GBI have been trying to figure out who shot him in broad daylight. The FBI recently joined the case as well, and yesterday announced that they were offering a $16,000 reward on top of the $14,000 already offered by Crime Stoppers. Wheeler's son says his family has been fighting for years for this extra reward money, and they think it could truly make a difference in the case.
There's no way, in my opinion, that 15 years could have gone by with the murder happening in broad daylight in a subdivision like that. There's no way that somebody didn't hear something, didn't see something.
Wheeler was a man of faith and would minister to families at the Paulding County Jail on Sundays. His son says his family continues to hold on to their faith, and they are willing to fight as long as it takes for justice.
I do believe in my heart that there's lots of interest still in the case. There's lots of good people, federal agencies that are investigating the case. I would like to think that all of the cold case murders that you see solved, that I watch on TV all the time, and I look over to my wife and I tell her, I said, I hope one day my dad's case is on there and it's solved.
Detectives say they think someone out there has information they need, so if you'd like to reach out, we have the contact information inside this story on 11alive.com. We'll also hear more from the family on the case tonight on Upload at 11 on our sister station, 11 Alive. Day 3 of confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. It was another long day of questions and answers that often fell short of revealing how she might rule on the high court. Republicans confident that she'll be seated before the end of the month. NBC's Susan McGinnis has the latest.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett tonight one step closer to being Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, sailing through her final day of questioning by the Senate Judiciary Committee.
This is the first time in American history that we've nominated a woman who's unashamedly pro-life and embraces her faith without apology, and she's going to the court.
Republicans eager to move ahead, and Democrats don't have the votes to stop it.
This hearing has done nothing to alleviate the concerns raised about why this nominee was chosen and why this is being rushed when the American people deserve to be heard.
Judge Barrett remains no more or less controversial than when these hearings began.
One of the president's campaign promises was to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
Democrats trying one last time to pin the judge down on important questions like where she stands on the Affordable Care Act.
Okay, but then is the answer yes, then, that you were aware
Senator
of it?
Klobuchar, all these questions, you're suggesting that I have animus or that I cut a deal with the president. And I was very clear yesterday that that isn't what happened.
The topics again ranged from gun, voting, and LGBTQ rights to race and abortion. Among the many questions she declined to answer, does President Trump have the power to pardon himself?
Because it would be opining on an open question when I haven't gone through the judicial process to decide it. It's not one on which I can offer a view.
The questions and answers now finished, and Judge Amy Coney Barrett a few votes away from being in the history books herself.
The 17-year-old accused of killing 2 protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin, will not face charges in his home state of Illinois. Kyle Rittenhouse is charged with shooting 2 protesters with an AR-15 rifle during a demonstration over the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Officials say the gun used in the shooting was purchased, stored, and used in Wisconsin, and that there's no evidence the teen ever physically possessed it in Illinois. Rittenhouse was arrested at his home in Illinois and is being held at a juvenile detention center there without bond due to the criminal charges in Wisconsin. A white woman will face charges for calling police on a black man who was bird watching in New York. Today, investigators revealed Amy Cooper called police a second time, claiming Christian Cooper had assaulted her. When police arrived, she admitted that never happened. Video of the confrontation went viral earlier this year. Cooper is expected to be arraigned in October for making a false report. The presidential election is just weeks away, and one of the top issues people are facing is logistics when voting by mail. Cynthia McFadden has more on the importance of verifying your signature and what you need to know before you mail in your ballot.
Tonight, something most states do, but few voters understand: the process for verifying signatures on mail-in ballots.
100% of the signatures are verified on the mail ballots that are coming through this office.
In Maricopa County, Arizona, these election officials are learning how to do it.
Do not talk yourself into accepting it if you are not comfortable.
At least 31 states and the District of Columbia require election officials to compare the signature on the security envelope voters place their ballot in with other signatures on file, like past voting records or a driver's license, to validate the voter's identity. 18 states require officials by law to notify voters if there's a problem with their signatures so they can fix it. But the president has warned, unsupported by evidence, that the system is subject to fraud.
There's no verification. It is a disgrace that this can happen.
While some Democrats believe, also without evidence, that massive numbers of legitimate ballots are thrown out over signature issues. Election expert Professor Nate Persilli says both concerns are overwrought if history is a guide.
There are not going to be millions of ballots that are discarded because of signature mismatches.
In fact, an NBC News review of official 2016 voting data found that around 0.3% of all 33 million mail-in ballots cast that year, only about 87,000, were not counted due to reported signature mismatch. In battleground Pennsylvania, the rules are changing.
If their signatures don't precisely match, you can't throw away the ballot. You can't disenfranchise legal eligible voters. Some counties didn't want to follow that.
Philadelphia's only Republican elections official says he's still waiting for guidance from the state's Supreme Court.
What I hear you say is at this point, just decide what the rules are.
Exactly. The sooner we know exactly what we can do and not do, the better off voters are.
Meanwhile, an NBC News poll revealed over 50% of voters nationally are not confident their mail-in ballots will be counted accurately.
My overall biggest concern is that confidence in our electoral system seems to be under siege at the moment.
Experts tell us if you're voting by mail, make sure that the signature on your ballot is the same as the signature on your driver's license.
The holiday travel season just around the corner, and airlines are still desperate for help from Washington. Delta Airlines is the first of the major carriers to report third quarter earnings, and the huge losses will likely be echoed across the entire industry. So far, Delta has been able to avoid the massive furloughs that hit some other major airlines, but now they say it could be more than 2 years before they're able to return to normal revenue. Here's NBC's Blaine Alexander.
This morning, trouble in the air for an airline giant. Delta Airlines reporting a $5.4 billion loss for the third quarter, a stark contrast to its $1.5 billion profit this time last year. It's the latest sign of turbulence in the skies as the pandemic deals the airline industry a massive blow.
It's going to take some time, into the spring, early part of next year before we start to see profits as well as cash flow.
Delta has taken steps to reassure passengers even as the company hemorrhages cash, pledging to block middle seats through at least early January, even as most major airlines have returned to full capacity.
Delta is generally regarded as one of the best run airlines in the world, and they reported a blockbuster loss, even as they've tried to reduce costs.
What does this mean for the airline industry as a whole?
Big picture, this means the airline industry really needs the bailout.
But that government bailout not coming yet, with talks in Washington still stalled. The industry left up in the air even amid signs that traffic is slowly picking up. Over the weekend, TSA screened nearly 985,000 travelers in a single day. That is the highest volume since mid-March, but still a far cry from the more than 2 million daily travelers pre-pandemic. That, combined with fewer flights, could mean fewer seats. But with the holiday travel season just around the corner, if you are planning to fly, there's good news.
Almost every major airline has gotten rid of change fees, so you can change free of charge or even to a lower flight. So there is more flexibility than ever before for travelers. And with record low fares and increased award miles flights, it is a good time for those looking for a deal.
We hit 80 degrees again today, but things will start to change a little bit ahead of a cold front that's moving our way. I do think we'll hit 80 again tomorrow, and then it gets cooler for the weekend. We'll time out that front and the impacts.
And coming up, the atrocity in Arlington. The Braves feeling pretty good about the National League Championship Series, so were the fans as well. But then the game started. Maria Martin's going to join us live from the scene of the crime, if you will, in Texas next.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both.
Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are
President Trump traveled to Iowa tonight looking to shore up support in the heartland, even as coronavirus cases are spiking there. Meanwhile, Democratic rival Joe Biden focused on online fundraising tonight with just 20 days to go until the November election. Alice Barr is in Washington now with the latest.
President Trump zeroing in on the economy today in online remarks to the economic clubs of several major U.S. cities.
The choice facing America is simple. It's the choice between historic prosperity under my pro-American policies or very crippling poverty and a steep depression under the radical left.
The president keen to shift attention to the economy where his approval ratings remain high as opposed to low ratings on the pandemic. Even as First Lady Melania Trump revealed today their teenage son Barron tested positive for the virus but showed no symptoms and has since tested negative along with his parents. Coronavirus cases are on the rise across the country, leading to fears of a second major wave of infections. The Midwest now the hardest hit. Hospitalizations are spiking in Iowa, where President Trump is holding a rally tonight in a cargo hangar with as many as 10,000 people expected. In a statement today, Democratic rival Joe Biden saying the president heads to Iowa to, quote, spread more lies about the pandemic and distract from his record of failure. Biden declaring President Trump doesn't have a plan to get the virus under control. The president's visit to Iowa this close to the election is notable. He won the state handily in 2016, but crippling effects from the pandemic and the trade war with China's impact on farmers have changed the landscape.
People on social media are going back and forth over a new campaign ad for President Trump. It implies Dr. Anthony Fauci praised the president's COVID response. Let's verify.
We're talking about a new political ad put out by Donald Trump's campaign this week. It talks about the president's handling of the coronavirus pandemic and then has a quote from Dr. Anthony Fauci. Here's a short clip.
President Trump tackled the virus head on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
Since this ad came out, Dr. Fauci has talked to multiple news outlets saying he's being misrepresented in this ad. So let's verify. Did Dr. Fauci say he couldn't imagine anybody doing more than President Trump like this ad implies? Our main source is an interview from Fox News in March. Dr. Fauci is asked about the coronavirus task force that he's a part of. Let's watch a clip.
Tom, I'm down at the White House virtually every day with the task force. I'm connected by phone throughout the day and into the night. When I say night, I'm talking 12, 1, 2 in the morning. I'm not the only one. There's a whole group of us that are doing that. It's every single day. So I can't imagine that under any circumstances that anybody could be doing more.
So Dr. Fauci is specifically talking about the coronavirus task force, not President Trump. But the political ad edited the statement and put it right next to the president. From the original clip and its context, we can verify the claim that Dr. Fauci said the statement about President Trump is false. Dr. Fauci has worked with 6 U.S. presidents, and he's never endorsed one or actively participated in a campaign ad before.
We have dry air over us right now. It was really a nice day with high temperatures that made it up into the lower 80s this afternoon. 80 degrees was our high here. We did get some spots south and also on the east side that were a little bit higher than 80 today, and that's above the average. Take a look, and you can see the moisture content of the air is going to be really dry here. A little more moisture comes back in through the day tomorrow, just in the form of a few clouds around and really a less than 20% chance for a shower. A front moves through on Friday. That pushes down to the south, and it pushes out any of that low-level moisture, low amounts of moisture that we're going to have here, and drier air is going to filter in for later on Friday. It's also going to be cooler. And then Saturday, plenty of sunshine, really low dew points with plenty of low relative humidity on Saturday. No rain around either. It's going to be cool. But then look at the moisture content in the air kind of coming back here as we get into Sunday and into Monday. And that's when our rain chances will come back up. We think Monday and Tuesday, low rain chances, but at least some rain chances moving in. In fact, here's a look at the dew points. This is the amount of moisture, the way we measure the amount of moisture in the air. And you see on Thursday that comes up just a little bit with that moisture content moving up and then really falling down by Saturday. Dew points in the 40s, very pleasant, dry feel to the air for a fall day. And then the humidity levels start coming back up as the dew points go back up Monday and Tuesday, and that's when we'll see those rain chances just a little bit higher. We're talking a 20 to 30% chance going into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. High today was 80. That's well above the average. We should be at 73 this time of year. We should be at 55 this time of year, and that's exactly where we were this morning. So really, our above average temperature was just mainly into the afternoon hours. Still watching that surplus. We're about 18¼ inches above where we should be in rainfall for the year. So that's something nice to celebrate out there with a nice surplus. We've got a cold front on the way. It sweeps in late Thursday into Friday. It really has limited moisture with it. Low rain chances late tomorrow. And then behind the front, after it moves through, we're going to have a surge of cooler air that'll move our way. And that's where those temperatures will dip back down into the 40s for the weekend. Now tomorrow in the morning, this is at 7 o'clock, we'll have a few clouds in Atlanta, more sun over on the west side, and then more clouds over on the east side. And with that southeasterly flow, maybe even a couple of light showers up in far north Georgia. But for us here in Atlanta, I really think we're going to be dry, less than 20% chance for a shower here. And then on Friday, a few clouds around as we have that northwest flow. That's going to help to cool us off as we clear out later on Friday. And then Saturday, plenty of sunshine with that cool air in place. 47 for a low Saturday morning, 69 for a high, back to 49 Sunday morning with a high to 71. Mid-70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and the rain chances coming back up to about 30% for Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'm Maria Martin here at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, and look, it looks like that 9th inning in Game 2 by the Dodgers really woke a sleeping giant. Ouch, this was a really tough one to swallow, and as Atlanta fans, we know that nothing comes easy, and look, Los Angeles really was trying to make sure that the Braves didn't run away with this series, and the Dodgers really did some serious damage at the plate today. Kyle Wright on the hill for Atlanta, the 25-year-old really having a rough go of things today. He was pulled at 6-0 with 2 outs, and a lot of it wasn't his fault, but a lot was. The Dodgers racking up 11 runs in a 32-minute half inning to start this game. The most runs in any postseason inning in Major League Baseball history. So not so great, and it didn't get any better from there. LA cuts into this series with a 15-3 win and a deflating one for Atlanta. Kyle Wright couldn't get things going on the mound today. Here's Snit.
You know, obviously he wanted to go out there and have a great start. Didn't work out, and you know, we're still in a good spot with you know, the 4 games left, and you know, we just, like I say, as a whole team, we just turn the page and get ready to go tomorrow.
So one positive, Huascar Noah was able to probably save the bullpen today. He got 4 innings of scoreless relief. So now the Braves still lead the series 2-1. So that is the good news. And now tomorrow in Game 4, they're going to turn their attention to Bryce Wilson on the hill. The 22-year-old spent a majority of this season at the alternative site in Gwinnett. And now his postseason debut is going to come in the NLCS.
Worked hard. Obviously, this is a goal of mine, and for it to actually, you know, be coming true, and just looking back at everything I've done to get to this point, I'm just super thankful, super happy for the opportunity.
All right, let's talk some college football. UGA and Alabama, the big one coming up on Saturday night. Obviously a big storyline, but now there is a very interesting side story. Head coach Nick Saban for the Alabama Crimson Tide has tested positive for COVID-19 along with their athletic director Greg Byrne. Coach says that he's feeling good, he's asymptomatic, and he's also leading practices by Zoom.
I get tested every day. I feel fine, I felt fine. I was very surprised, you know, by this. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to play out in terms of when the game comes, you know, whether I can have communication with people or not. So we'll have to research and sort of figure that one out.
Doesn't stop there in the SEC. Saturday's showdown between Florida and LSU is postponed because several players for the Gators tested positive for COVID-19. 21 to be exact. That game is tentatively rescheduled for December 12th. All right, Major League Soccer tonight from South Beach. The Five Stripes at Inter Miami. They were down 1-0 until the 83rd minute. Jurgen Damm sets up Jake Mulroney to level things at 1, and that is the way it ends, folks. A 1-1 draw. United picking up the road point. Okay, here in Arlington, game 4 tomorrow. Hopefully the Braves can bounce back. Good news is they're still up 2-1 in the series. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
A few more clouds move in on Thursday, really a less than 20% chance for a shower later on Thursday. Still gets warm, highs up to about 80 degrees. And then Friday, decreasing clouds, highs near 72. A little cooler here Friday, and then more cool air Saturday and Sunday morning with lows in the 40s, highs back to the lower 70s Sunday, and then a low rain chance moving in for next week. Flip it over to 11 Alive. Up late is coming up with more news and weather.
Say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.